Ladies and gentlemen outside there, welcome again to the talk. It's another great evening. We are going to start today's talk. It's yours, Elisha Caleb, and my brother.
Maya Bunny.
Yeah, we are going to go through a very fundamental topic, which is the youth emotional intelligence. We are living in a challenging times with certain changes happening on all over the society and across the world. Increase in xenophobia, terrorism, climate change, and growing of unemployment to the young people, just to mention but a few. These changes impact on individual lives, groups, and the society, and the local, also the national at large. There is need for young people and others who are courageous and able to handle change for themselves, their families, their communities, and for society globally. These young people and young adults need awareness, competence, and practices that enable them to enter these liminal phases where the old patterns are not totally gone and the new paradigm is not fully clear yet. They need to be able to deal with their own emotions and thoughts, which are associated with ambiguity and uncertainty that this challenging time bring. Youth emotional intelligence is the ability to use or as a young people to understand our own emotions as well as others. Emotional intelligence is very much important to efficient management behaviors.
Absolutely. So just to add on a few, because last week or last time we were discussing about recognizing your self-worth, right?
Yes.
And now you find that this time we are trying to talk to you about emotional intelligence, how they can cope up with the emotion, how they can manage the emotions. And you see that this is very fundamental because you can't know yourself when you don't know the state of your emotions. And
Mhm.
these are the your emotions guide you to react. So doesn't matter how you react, but when you have this kind of emotional intelligence and you know how to manage your emotions, you find that you'll be aware of your state and the or the current state of the emotions that you are at, and you'll actually be responsible. You responsible. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, sure,
So
sure, sure.
that's all about emotional intelligence. So it's very fundamental um, to we as people, because you see the current situations, like we can say about our relationships. People don't know how to relate with each other, and people are so broken.
Mhm.
Relationship aren't working these days because people don't know how to manage their emotions, or
Okay.
people either go to relationship uh, with the aspect that they expect that uh, their other partners will manage the emotions. So you see, it's a bit hard. So when we are able to recognize our emotion, the state of our emotions as youth,
Mhm.
we find that we are able to cope up well with every situation.
Yeah, sure. What we are basically talking is that emotional intelligence is important to effectively manage your behavior. It can greatly help you as a young person to manage your behavior, how you behave when you're with people, how you behave when you are with a certain class of people, to navigate social situations when you are in difficulties. Emotional intelligence is the one who will guide you to navigate through your difficult situations, easy situations, and to make personal decisions. When you want to
Yeah,
make either positive decision, negative decision, you must have as a youth the emotional intelligence which will guide you to do all this. So basically what we are
yeah.
saying.
Like
Mhm.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No
Like
problem.
um, you can find people who just don't know how to control their emotions. Like if someone can come and tell you that you bastard or you stupid, how can you react on that? You see, so if you're not emotionally intelligent enough, you'll be so reactive and ask, why do you call me a bastard?
Yeah.
Do I look like a bastard? But now, uh, if you actually understand how to to respond well or positively, you ask yourself, why do you have to call me I'm a bastard? So you start by understanding, and this is very, very fundamental. You see, like
Yeah.
last time, just to recall on last time we talked about awareness. So you can't be more aware if you don't know how to manage your emotions. Yeah.
So one has need to understand the other party before he or she
Yeah,
lands into conclusions.
being emotionally intelligent means that you're empathetic about other people's emotions too. You understand the emotion and you understand the state that they are in. Like, let's say empathy is very different from sympathy. I can give you a very good example. You normally work in CBD, right? And you find there are those people who usually just do borrow. I don't know how they are called. I don't know if they're crippled or what.
Mhm.
But they're always there with their balls. They borrow money from those who are passing by. So, as a sympathetic person will say, "Oh, I really feel this person," but he won't do anything about it, or maybe just throw the coin. But if you're empathetic, you'll go deeper into their shoes and you understand the state they're in and how they are feeling. So there's a very big difference about empathy and sympathy. And it's very key. Empathy is very key in emotional intelligence.
Yeah, sure.
So you can imagine putting yourself in other person's situation. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So basically, emotional intelligence is made up four core skills, and they are paired. They are paired in two primary competencies. We have the personal competency and the social competency. If we remember last time, we talked of personal competency. Where where are you strong at? Identifying your what? Where where are you best at? So personal competence refers to the individual belief as a youth, believing in yourself, their abilities, your ability, values, standards, and help to determine what is best for themselves. What's best for you as a young person? What can you do which is good? Where are you strong at? So I think those are some of the fundamental parts as a young person you should know. They can greatly boost your emotional intelligence.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just a matter to when we I don't know let maybe I can talk about the importance of emotional intelligence.
Yeah, sure.
For us youths, the importance of having emotional intelligence as youth. And you find that number one, and I already talked about this before, emotional intelligence helps us have a better relationship. We know how to relate with other people. As long as we understand their state of emotion and we are able to be empathetic about the state they are in. So this creates a better relationship. And you see, when we have a better relationship, everything goes well. There's nothing good like being able to know how to relate with people, and it's so fundamental. And you see, even in organizations, this is the these are the key things that they look at. Um, it's it doesn't appear to be so significant, but uh, these are the things that they look at. Let's say in a hotel, for example, um, you can go to an interview and the receptionist welcomes you. You know how you relate there with them, or how your behavior towards them. It really does matter. There's an instance I read somewhere that someone was going for an interview in a certain hotel, and then he met the reception. It was at the reception, and then he really did talk rude to the receptionist. And you know what he was told? He was just told to just go back. He has been disqualified because Actually, the madam was part of the interviewers, so you can imagine that.
Mhm.
So it's very key. You have to respect everybody, and you have to understand.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So and then another part
And
is
also
emotional intelligence.
generally emotional
Yeah,
intelligence can help one to live a happy life.
of
Because
course.
yeah, because I can say that's the basic or the initial part of one living a happy life. Once you identify your
Yeah,
emotional intelligence.
last time we said being aware.
Mhm.
So if you're aware about your emotions, you're aware about your situation, you'll actually have that insight and accept your situations the way they are, even if you're in a bad state. But if you understand why you're in a bad state, you won't react. You know,
That's
the bad thing is that we react emotionally to the situations that happens in our life. And when we do that, that's where we go wrong. But we should start by understanding the situations that happens in our life. And so when you understand, you actually won't react emotionally,
true. Basically,
and
by
and you'll
us,
find yourself living a happy life.
true. Basically, by us saying that you'll one or you as a young person, you'll live a happy life once
Yeah,
you identify your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence can allow you to effectively cope up with stress. Furthermore, emotional intelligence people also have the ability to initially evaluate situations at a lesser stressful way. Once you identify your emotional intelligence, you can solve problems in a most intelligent way, in a most, and you can evaluate these situations in a great evaluative way without any complications.
yeah.
Wait,
Just to interrupt you a bit. Like if you look at the current situation, how do youths cope up with stress? You find that they go for drugs, they go for um partying and alcohol and all that stuff. So we are not emotionally intelligent enough. So many people don't know how to cope up with their stress. So you find that they don't start with their insights. They don't want to realize what the problem is with the emotional intelligence. And that's why it's very fundamental to be intelligent about our emotions. So yeah, it really helps youths to cope up with stress.
yeah, sure. So we can maybe talk of some of the ways one one can lead or one can build his own emotional intelligence. We have personal competence and social competence. We can start with personal competence, self awareness, identify who you are, as we said earlier. It's your ability to accurately perceive your emotions and be aware of them as they happen. You can increase your self awareness by understanding your strengths, limitations, while seeking professional and personal opportunities for growth. Secondly, self management. We are under the personal competence. Self management. It's your ability as a young person to stay flexible, focused, and positively direct to your behavior when you are expecting or you are experiencing the different
Yeah,
emotions.
yeah. Just to add on that, emotional intelligence helps you to be resilient. And
Absolutely.
resilient is all about endurance.
Mhm.
You are able to endure every situations that happens in your life. So you know we have to react on on every situations that happen in our life. So it depends. How will you react to the situations that happens in your life?
Yeah,
So when you are emotional intelligent enough, you'll find yourself that you'll always be reacting positive to every situations that happens in your life.
yeah. In fact, it all comes with learning to control your emotions and respond to others in appropriate way, in positive. self-management.
Yeah,
A good
it's
example,
it's
a good example is positive self-management is having the ability to diffuse your anger by listening and recognizing the feeling of the other, even when you feel they are wrong. Just trying to accommodate the other party, as we have said initially, even if they are in a wrong, just trying to understand, because people are built up differently. People are raised up in a different background. So you just learn to understand the other party. You just humble thyself to give them time first. Yeah.
yeah. And I just want to talk about emotional intelligence and empathy a bit. You know, uh, all this that we are talking about is closed up with empathy, because like emotional intelligence guides our reactions. It's not about how we react, but how we manage our reactions. You see, so managing you have to be empathetic enough to know how to manage your reactions, because like these are things that we do every day. You have to react to every situations every day. So
But you react
when
positively.
you're empathetic enough, you'll always be understanding. You'll always be able to understand how people feel. So even if let me give you another example. Have you ever had a conversation with someone whom you feel like is a bit primitive?
It's a hard question, but I always take everybody to according to their level.
Yeah,
One might be primitive, but at the same time, he might be having his better strength.
yeah,
Yeah, as we said
yeah,
in the initial state, one might be weaker in this part, but stronger also in the other part.
yeah. But so
But of course, yes, of course, yes.
for you you're answering it as an emotional intelligent person. You see,
Mhm, mhm.
but now but now you see, if I would ask that question to someone, like uh I mean, the way you know how to interact with everyone, isn't it?
Yeah,
Whether primitive, whether intellectual, wherever, everyone, you know
yeah.
how to cope up with all of them. But they don't know that. So if you talk to them, like just the way I asked you when you were starting this meeting,
Mhm.
that if someone calls you stupid, you see, there are those people who will react emotionally. Hey, am I stupid? Do I look like a stupid person? But now you see, if you're an emotional intelligent person, you would have come up with some steps to control your anger and to find a way how you can react positively about that, just the way you did it. So you actually covering it with tactfulness. You see, so the emotional intelligence gives you these tactics of solving some ways to avoid, I mean, getting angry and maybe deteriorating relationship.
Yeah, sure, sure. So on the other part of the page, if we can talk about the social competence, we were talking how to build the emotional intelligence as a young person. Now we're on the other part of social competence. On social competence, we have social awareness. Is your ability to actually sense others' emotions and understand what is really going on. In a workplace, you need to learn how to work with others, co-colleagues, being empathetic, as you said, acknowledging the emotions of others by being thoughtful and considerate, and
Yeah,
making
yeah, yeah,
decisions that take others' feelings into considerations can help build your awareness as a young person.
yeah. Just to add on that, on social competence, you know, the fundamental thing of emotional intelligence is to make interactions more enjoyable and remember. You have to make the interaction so positive that you always have to remember the interaction. I mean, so yeah, in whatever aspirations that you are in, whether in business, in whatever situations, there are those interactions that you make, so they have to be memorable. And this is the fundamental thing of emotion. When you're emotionally intelligent enough to know how to make interactions and to know how to react with other people, you will find that you are living a better life, as we said, an empathetic life, and you'll find that you are resilient. You know, people always like, I always call myself the resilient, but people don't know what resilience comes with. Resilience comes with a lot of endurance. You know, there are these emotional challenges that you're going through, and you're really working towards towards challenging them, so that so that they cannot bring you down. Because you know, most of the time we are always brought down with our emotions. To be honest, you know, because before you get angry, it's your emotion that brings you down. You fail to manage your emotion. So you see, so that we cannot be brought down by our emotions, we need to know how to manage our emotions. And also, it is very fundamental when relating with other people, because you know, we won't be always be getting angry every time. Yeah, so it's a I can say it's a very challenging topic to cover, or to have. And it's not something that you'll get overnight. You won't become emotionally intelligent overnight. It's a practice. It's like a culture. You have to develop
Build.
it. Yeah, you have to build it. I mean, yeah, you have to keep on practicing each and every time, and you have to give yourself these small tests. I mean, you have to try it out anytime you are out there and you find that someone is giving you a negative vibration, and then you train yourself on how to react on that. So you have to always make sure that it's positive, so that it doesn't affect the other person. So it's a process that needs a lot of time. Most
Yes,
of
yes.
us should.
It's all about being positive, as you said. And on social competence, there's a very fundamental part that we also need to talk of on
Yeah,
relationship management. It's one's
yeah,
ability.
yeah.
It's one's ability as a young person to use awareness of emotions and emotions of others to manage interactions successfully between the two parties. The basis of
Yeah,
relationship
sure.
management is developed or is developing and maintaining good relationship between the two parties, be it a boy, be it lady, or boy, lady. Clear
Yeah, when
communications
you,
in the
yeah, go on.
relationships, clear communications in the relationship, inspiring each other, influencing others, working well in a team, and managing conflict and contribute to a relationship greatly
At least,
encourages or greatly builds a relationship. So,
yeah, I bet. I bet this can also be part of healthy intimacy and relationship. It's
mhm,
very, very,
very
very
important.
evident that it's important and fundamental that for you to have a healthy intimacy and a relationship, you have to you have to be emotionally intelligent. And
Intelligent,
you know,
yes.
yeah, I always say that, you know, the basis of relationship, it's not created, it's always created by understanding the indifferences of the other parties. you see, we are talking here about understanding each other to make interactions better. So when you're emotionally intelligent enough, you are able to understand the indifference of the other person. If if it's someone who is always reactive, so next time when you're trying to communicate with this person and he or she is reactive, so you as an emotional intelligent person, you won't you won't be reactive too, but you'll know how to cope up with this person and to bring about a better way on how you two can relate. You see?
Yes. So allow me end today's conversation by saying, you as a young person, you should always endeavor with no expectations, not to be a product of your thoughts or egos. You have the power to find yourself in the small space between feeling the emotions and behavior, the actions that flows in you. Emotional intelligence is the power to feel the feeling inside you as a young person. Identify who are you? What do you need? What can am I capable of doing? Neutralize the emotions before becoming the emotion. Neutralize the emotion before becoming the emotion. That basically means uh, neutralizing, controlling the basic thing, controlling the idea before it comes to the end product. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Just to add on that, it's about understanding, not reaction. So you see,
Relaxation.
the understanding comes first before you react. So
Yes.
when someone tells you negative thing, you have to understand and to come to a conclusion why he told you that
Yes.
instead of reacting immediately.
Yeah,
You
sure.
see, yeah,
Yeah,
now that's the difference.
yeah, that's all about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, as you have put it, my friend, it's understanding and managing your own thoughts and feeling as well as understanding of others. So it's between you and the other party, understanding the two parties. That's all about emotional intelligence. I've been yours, Elisha
Yeah,
Khaled. Thank you very much.
and I, my Bunny.
We appreciate it.
Okay, sure. And